Well, YouTube's not working.
Yeah, no, it ain't live.
There is no God.
What can I do? What can I be? When I'm with you, I want to stay there. If I am true, I'll never leave, and if I do, I know the way there. Ooh, did I suddenly see you? Ooh, did I tell you I need you every single day of my life? Got to get you into my life. Got to get you into my life. Was alone, I took a ride. I didn't know what I would find there. Another row, and maybe I could see another kind of mind there. And then suddenly I see you. Did I tell you I need you? Got to get you into my life.
He's an old guy, has dementia, can't lead us, and the country is screwed. Tells some big lies, barely speaks English, sniffs children, and their mom's hair too goes the wrong way. When he leaves his speeches, gets lost each day. In the White House yard, all the Dems say that we should re-elect him. How can he run when walking is hard? And Joe keeps falling in
crap. I think we're here. Are we here?
I totally need that. Ah. Yes, I
God.
think we actually made it.
Oh,
Can you
that
guys
was
hear us?
You know,
Can you hear us? That's
I
the
feel
true
like
stuff.
I'm a pilot taking off of a cliff.
You are. You
Every
totally.
time. It's just
Yeah.
like nuts.
I
Can you-
almost put in the chat the boomer's trying to get it up.
Yeah, he is trying to get. He's always trying to get it up. But what we really need from our chat before we start calling our friends and fams out is, how is our audio? How's my audio versus Shanda's audio this week? Is
Mic
it any
check.
better?
How we doing?
Can you guys hear me? I can't see me up here. Am I talking, or can you tell? I don't know.
Like this. Are you having an existential crisis, Oz?
Schlatsky says
Audio's
audio's great. Okay, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay. Very good.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. Audio, Shannon and I were talking in the green, of all the time we've been doing this for years, it's always been that Satan, that audio is Satan, and it is every
Shanda
single
could be
time.
louder.
Oz is a bit louder, to be honest. God, you know, and Shannon can't hear me. So
I know. I can't hear him. I've got him turned up as loud as he can go in my headphones. And last week, you were about 2 notches higher than me. Somebody in the chat called it out, and you were dead on, whoever did. And I
Yeah.
think we have that same problem tonight.
no, honestly, I don't know what to do. I don't know
I
what
don't
to
know
do.
what to do.
But
Pull your hair out.
Jax, you can always be honest, and Jax gave us 100,000 pesos over there.
Jax, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Jax says, that don't get excited. That's Mexican pesos. You're funny.
No,
Glad
that's
to be
great.
here and ready for the show. Hello to everyone. Hello
Yes.
to everyone.
We are absolutely thrilled to be here, and I'm learning the studio, but here's some great news. I got to get this off my chest. Through your support and some of our just such wonderful contributors, our virtual studio VMEX is paid for from last week's show, and I want to thank all of you who contributed to that. And I'm going to call out the YouTube, and Shanda can call out the other channels, but then I want to read a thank you note that I wrote. And hopefully it won't take too long. So let's get started here tonight. Again, we are covered as far as studio expense and multi-streaming expense for the year. Thank you so much, guys. It is wonderful.
For another year. Well, tell the platforms take us down anyways.
Yeah, until the platforms take us down. So I'm going to start calling everybody out.
Patreon. Let's call it our
Schlatsky,
Patreon.
who was here first? I was in here. Rick, what's going on, Rick? Midnight Karma. We got Robert Templeton, Steve G. Good to see you. Vic again is here. Retro Gamer, did you change your handle again?
Yeah, Gamer's got a new handle. Yeah.
Good
I like
to
it,
see you,
Retro.
Gamer. I see Gamer everywhere. A-Rim, brother A-Rim. Looking forward to our chat tomorrow, brother A-Rim. And let's see who we got. Peace, Dove. Peace is in the house. We have, gosh, we got so many in here. I gotta change the background here a little bit. Let me get.
No,
this
but we
in
love
here.
our Patreons, and we're going to do something special for our Patreons this week. On Thursday, it's a Patreon hangout. If you're a Patreon, look for the email. You'll get one, and you get an invite to go just kick it with Oz and I. I don't know. We'll just be shooting the shit.
Yeah,
Green room.
absolutely. It's going to be a very kickback Thursday night, and I might even dress down for that. Rad Angel, Jody Hovel. Hi, Jody. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me see. I don't want to miss Kate Kamshwari. Kate said earlier that she's going to not be in the video or the chat for the first part of the show, but she will be listening. So hi, Kate. Deborah Grossbach, great to see you. And High Plains Drifter, good to see you with the eyeballs, High Plains Drifter. Old Man Barker, there you go. I was a Barker once, I think, for about a minute. So let's see.
Not a Bob Barker. I hope not. He supports the prison industrial complex, or he did. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
He supplied all the clothing or some shit. Like, blew my mind.
Well, maybe that was so they had clean clothes. But Bob was wonderful, and
No,
his
he
wife
making
was.
money.
His wife and they were both, as far as the animal shelters, the dogs.
You're right. They were
Huge,
get your dogs spayed and neutered. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, he had a company that supplied prison crappy prison clothes, and that's
Yeah.
how he profited.
Well, maybe. Well, yeah. I guess you got to have good clothes when you
All
go.
of our idols, I'm telling you, everybody you thought that was a good dude's a bad
What
dude.
do you think
That's
about Jerry
just reality.
Seinfeld this week? Cowboy Kitty. Jerry Seinfeld is. I never watched Seinfeld. No, he was. I guess
I've
it
always
was fun.
hated Seinfeld too. I never thought he was funny. I never
Yeah.
saw the appeal of that show. I just thought, oh, they act stupid, and I'm supposed to laugh at it. Like
Crazy puppets in the house, along
Crazy
with
Puppet. What's that?
Jelly.
Jillian.
And there's who do you got over on the fin there, Shanda?
On the fin, we got Crone of Heresy's hanging out over there. Longtime Patreon. And Anna Maris. Nautilus is over here
Hi,
with
Anna.
Gregory Walker. Hi, Gregory. And Fred Edwards. Always sharing our stuff. Thank you, Fred. A-Rim's hanging out over there. And Jim. Hi, Jim. And who was first over here? Trying to see. Well, you guys have been chatty over here.
Yes, they have chatty.
Nautilus. I don't want to miss it. Dirk Diggler stopped
Dirk.
by earlier. It looks
Hey,
like.
Dirk,
Good to
what's
see
going
Dirk.
on?
Fred was first in, of course, over on the Rokfin. Make sure you guys are followed on the Rokfin. A lot of people don't follow Rokfin. I'm always shocked. Like, why wouldn't you follow Rokfin? That's where everybody who's been kicked off of YouTube's at. Like, if you want to see real stuff, that's where you want to be. Rokfin. And then the Rumble, we got Law 66 is hanging out over there with Ghost Start. Hi, Ghost Start. And of course, we're up on the Kick. We love the Kick. We get people that stop by on the Kick, and the Kick is beautiful. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
it's really pretty.
And the Rumble The Rumble. I hope the Rumble's going. Like I said,
Yeah,
the
no, Rumble's
interfaces.
good. We launched on channels. We are a Go Captain.
Wow. I want to shout out. Let me see I caught something. Hey, Eric's in the house. Becca C is in the house too. Welcome. Good to see you. I want to shout out somebody special. I had a nice wake-up call this morning. Crone of Anarchy.
Heresy.
Crone of Heresy. Bought me a coffee this morning, and I just want to
Aw.
thank you so much,
That's very
Crone.
sweet.
It's nice to wake up to the love, to the support. As we said, it goes back into the show and everything we try and do and keep Shanda and I afloat. And we're dead serious about that. Now, I wrote a thank you note to all of you who contribute to this. What is this? This isn't a train wreck anymore. It's kind of like a plane taking off, right? But I'm just going to read it here, and I hope you guys take this in earnest, because it's what Shanda and I feel about all of you and your support over the years.
Yes.
So I can't see very good tonight, but here we go. I've had the privilege of collaborating with Shanda, Amber, and Linda for nearly 7 years now, and it has truly been a rewarding journey. As I've aged, finding things to look forward to has become an increasingly rare. Through life's ups and downs, I have accumulated my fair share of experiences, both good and bad, but thankfully, none that haunt me with regret. Working on Beauty and the Boomer, engineering, and production for Shanda's shows has become a labor of love. Despite the occasional doubts, especially on Sundays when the challenges seem insurmountable, we press on. It's a reflection of the reality many of us face today, a constant struggle against adversity. Man, though it seems circuitous, I want to offer you a glimpse into my mindset. As time marches on, gratitude takes on a deeper meaning. Your generosity in providing financial support not only gives us stability, but also ignites our drive to innovate and improve. We aspire to maintain our tradition of offering a sanctuary, a respite from the chaos where friends gather to share laughter amidst the madness. The camaraderie among our community of social media influencers, podcasters, and comedians is something truly special. We endeavor to stand on the right side of the issues and infuse levity into lives of our audience. To know that you and others appreciate our efforts is truly humbling. Your recent contributions will be invested back into our work, a testament to the dedication of all involved. We pledge to continue honing our craft, delivering content that uplifts and entertains. In this moment, words fail to convey the depth of my gratitude. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Stay safe, sincerely. And Shanda and I,
Aw,
absolutely, we are all about
we
that.
do feel that way.
We
Yes,
feel
do.
that way, no kidding. So I hope I spit that out okay.
You're such a great writer. I love both yours and Amber's writing.
Somebody said that to me today. I don't think I am, but there's always room for improvement.
You are. You absolutely are a great writer.
Yeah, I got working on the tickers on the bottom here, guys. So they look pretty good, don't they, Chanda?
They do look good. You're you're stepping up your game in this new studio. And I can't wait to see what you do to it after you've had 6 months, a year in it. You know, we were in the last studio for over 3 years. So I can't wait for you to get this one down.
Well, I can't wait because, Chanda, you've got that now, too. And we're going to go in and play with that. So Chanda will be engineering with her shows with this format as well. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you, Midnight Karma. Thank you, Robert Templin. Amazing. I'm humbled again. You guys just do it all the time. Like I said, we appreciate your support, and we're gonna do this as long as we can. And I'm gonna run this ticker down here a little bit. Let me see. Where are we? I
want to shout out a Rokfin Ray, a super Ray.
Yay,
Anna Mara
Ray.
says, know a lot of us have watched and known how far you've grown, never bending to pressure since uphill media days. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you so much. And yes, so many of you guys have been with us all these years. So thank you so much.
That's a long time ago, Anna. Yeah.
You're right. There's been a lot of crazy shit that we could have dropped pressure on. Like some of the hard ones for me, Oz, over the years was having to face that climate, all the climate justice I'd been fighting for all those years was wasted time, and all I was doing was taxing myself. And having to step up to my own community and say, hey, guys, we need to take a look at this climate thing. I went through it just last Friday at a meeting. I was bitching about it. And they immediately think you're a climate denier, right? You know, and it's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Obviously, we're destroying the fucking planet. But putting a tax on me doesn't, having to explain that in Medicare for All. When we backed out of Medicare for All, they came for us, remember? Like,
yeah.
They fucking came for us. And so, yeah, it's been hard. There's been a lot of pressures over the years. And, of course, COVID. I mean, we held strong on COVID, and I'm proud of us for our COVID coverage.
Yeah.
We never missed a beat on it.
And we actually are for healthcare. We're actually for universal, fully funded healthcare. No bullshit, just healthcare. That's what we want. Nobody having their fingers all over it. And that's what it is. And however you go about doing it.
Which will never happen. Our healthcare system is so fucking broken in this country. I live it every time I go to the doctor, every time I go to the pharmacy. Nothing runs fucking smooth at all. There's insurance companies in the way, and there's computer bugs, and there's pissed off, short-staffed pharmacists, and you go to the doctor, and there's drug reps, and I mean, there's just so much pollution and perversion in our healthcare system. You can't just go get a simple fucking prescription for anything anymore. And it just be a trip to the pharmacy, and it's not that simple. It's so
I know. And again, we've always been such staunch supporters of the nurses and the ancillary people that help in the hospital, in the pharmacists, the compounding pharmacists, and in the hospitals and stuff. It's crazy, and rural areas are losing their hospitals and their healthcare.
The rural areas are getting hit the hardest. So we're losing our hospitals, we're losing our local clinics, we're losing our pharmacies. Think about how many pharmacies used to be on every fucking corner in Main Street America. You had Walgreens, you had Rite Aid, you had all of the different ones that are competing. Now they're all going under, which is crazy because they got a shit ton of money from the government for COVID, remember? I mean, they got both ends. They got PPP money, plus they got the big pharma COVID money because they were the ones administering it. So I don't understand how they're all going under.
Yeah, well,
business.
Business
is planned that way.
Hey, according to the White House, we're booming. We've got 14.8 million jobs, and everything's
loud. Yelling again.
Yeah, my God. Anyway, thank you guys. That's my rant. That's my appreciation, and Chanda and I just love you guys to death, and really do appreciate all your support. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this show on the road. And by the way, we've got a great outro tonight. We got some Fleetwood Mac, and it's going to be relaxing to you. I've been playing rock for the last 3 shows, some pretty hard rock. This is a little mellower, but it's
lullaby tonight.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. We've got some great cover artists of Fleetwood Mac tonight. But anyway, stick around for that. But the real hero this week, I gotta say, is right here, in my opinion. And Chanda, you want to speak to this?
Aaron Bush, no. We woke up. Well, I went to bed Sunday night. We knew what had happened. Weren't getting a lot of details yet, right? By Monday morning, we had some details. We had his name. We knew that he was an active airman for the Air Force, and the mainstream media refused to cover this. And when they did cover it, they covered it with a bias that was just disgusting. Um, and some of us that played it, including myself, we took a lot of heat for it. And I played the abs. To me, it was like this: we need to bear witness to this. He did this. Why would I not show it to you? Because that was the whole fucking point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so the people that came for me, I'm just like, no, I stand on my ground. He did it. He wanted people to see it and know what his protest was for. And I'm glad I did now, because look at the mainstream media and how they've just fucking twisted it. They've made it so just, oh, what a sacrifice. What a fucking, that's the
I know.
that's the most sacrifice you can do, right?
I know it is. It is. You're giving up your life for the good stuff in life, and I admit I was nervous about you doing it but when you just said we have to bear witness, and that's what we have to do more and more all the time. We've got to start bearing witness to these atrocities, because just to put them on the shelf and because we can't take it or it's too much, we've got to stop that. We've got to step up to the plate. Is this an Air Force?
I did have the video of this, but I'm having freaking glitches with my system, and I'm fighting video. So I didn't actually bring this video. There is video. You can go over to Abby Martin's and watch it. But this was in Portland. So incredibly powerful moment to witness in Portland, where a dozen Iraqi and Afghan veterans, including her husband, Mike Pilsner, burned their uniforms in honor of Aaron Bushnell's sacrifice and called for active duty soldiers to protest and resist free Palestine.
That's my stomping grounds, Portland. Right
yeah.
down there.
I didn't know that they were kicking it in Portland, but it makes sense now, right?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Yeah, what a moving. And, for active service members, especially the ones that are getting called up into these war games that don't even leave American soil, we know which ones, the ones that worked for Obama. With the drones. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what they're going through and the PTSD that they come out of the military with, especially once they find out, what it's really all about. Come on, we all age, we all get wisdom as we get older, and we start to see our country for what it really is. And those wide-eyed, people, the kids that are joining the military for why are they joined? Because they can't get out of their, their hells that they're trapped in, whether it be a ghetto, whether it be,
it's the only job available now, and
yeah,
that was by
where
design.
Are you going to get money for an education? Where are you going to get a GI Bill? Where are you going to get health insurance? It's the only avenue that really we give a lot of kids in America now, and it's going to get worse. I'm sorry.
It's not gonna end well. I've got to tell you. What's this all about?
Oh, I like that transition. That was a great. Do you see that? Snap.
Yeah. What do you got here? You brought an Air Force veteran?
Yeah, this is another veteran talking about exactly that, coming to what the reality is.
I'm here today I'm an Air Force veteran as well, and I'm here to acknowledge kinship with Aaron and kind of be a part of the communal grief, expression of grief, and to hold his act, as difficult as it is, just to kind of hold it and sit with it. I think it's an enormous deal, and it pains me to say that, because on one hand, it's like so many people are dying. It shouldn't take just one white man to die here for people to care about so many other people dying somewhere else, That being said, I do think, I hope it'll have an effect. I do think it's significant. Oh yeah, I think like a common misconception in America is that a lot of people join the military because they believe in like the government, the American government, American ideals in that like very finite way. And in my experience, that simply is not the case. Most of the people I joined with, and me, myself, are joining to get out of terrible economic situations. It's a lot of poor people who can't pay for healthcare, can't pay for housing, maybe they have an ill family member, can't pay for college. And it's kind of propagandized to be this like escape from that. Well, they're telling you you're doing a good guy's job, right? They're telling you that you're doing the morally correct thing. And that's why I think a lot of people get out and have such a large moral wound, moral injury. And that's really where a lot of people
It is a
PTSD
moral
comes from.
wound.
It's not the fact that they saw terrible things happen to people. It's that they knew they were a part of terrible things happening to people in a way that they did not sign up to do.
Honestly, Chanda, I was thinking about this. I was talking to Linda, our executive producer, today. We need to have a card like we do for Julian Assange in the outro of Bushnell and Rachel Corey and many of the other people.
Yeah,
have
I'll make one.
martyrs.
We'll add one.
That would be great. And you brought this as well.
Did you see this? This is a statement from his mother, the family. So Aaron was not well at the end. We pleaded with him to seek help from his superiors in the Air Force. My son fell victim to propaganda during a long mental health battle. We are Bible-believing Christians, and we support 100% Israel 100%. We ask for your prayers at this time. Daniel Bushnell's mother, Erin Bushnell, who recently passed away after being influenced by Hamas propaganda, has reached out to the local church organization. She requests prayers and mentions that her son struggled with mental illness towards the end of his life. And Tyler Jane, says Erin Bushnell's mother would likely have had no way of knowing his mental health status because he has been estranged from her and his dad after he left their abusive Christian cult that brainwashes members since 2019. And so there's a lot of talk about that. There's a lot of information coming out on this Christian group that his mother was in, but very sad. It very much reminded me of Seth Rich, and so many people were heartbroken for Seth Rich, and fighting for Seth, and the family there was lawsuits and shut it down, and it sounds like this family's going to be very much like that.
Wow, that's heartbreaking.
But that's the reality of the fucking country we live in, Oz. I'm just trying to have a conversation with anybody nowadays. You don't know which side they're going to fall on, right? 100% Israel. It's crazy. We couldn't have anything more divisive in the country. I thought we'd gone through it all, but let's see. And of course, now we have to talk about the fact that Israel is currently bombing Syria's capital city of Damascus, targeting residential areas. But yeah, remember Assad bad. Within a single day alone, Israel has dropped bombs on Gaza, southern Lebanon, and Syria. This is not victim behavior. This is terrorism. Yeah, it's not victim behavior. Absolutely.
Yeah, it truly isn't. It truly isn't. I'm sorry we're coming in with a buzzkill, but we're
have working through it. We'll get through it.
We have to, like we said, we have to bear witness to this stuff. And Chanda, you put it well when you said that. So this is another one that just
this happened 2 days ago. Biden's flower massacre. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. I did bring a little clip, but I didn't bring any of the gore. I warned you guys ahead of time. So join Food Not Bombs this weekend. Stop the genocide. Honor Erin Bushnell. Take action against the famine at Gaza. So that's Food Not Bombs. You guys know where it is. And then, of course, this is one of those sacks of flour right there, soaked in blood.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how terrible. We got word today that they sent 38,000 meals in for almost 2 million fucking people.
Yeah. Well, again, why?
Look at us. We gave them food. We're feeding.
Why should they have to airdrop that stuff? Is it because Israel is doing what they're doing? And if they are, why isn't Biden and the administration telling them to knock off the bullshit?
Even airdropping it, it's not getting to the people. A lot of that stuff, Egypt's dropping off in the fucking sea. And if they go to the beach to get it, they're just going to get killed. And we saw that firsthand Thursday fucking morning.
Yeah.
A few trucks come in, and then of course they're going to go to those trucks. They're fucking starving at historical level, like Auschwitz level fucking concentration camp, starving. Have you not seen the pictures of these babies?
I know.
What do you expect was going to happen? They shut off the food and water 5 fucking months ago. That's what happens.
I know, absolutely.
Victim. Yeah, they're such the victims. Israel is not the victim.
Israel, in no way, shape, or form is the victim here. Fiorella had something to say. He brought Fee Says here.
Oh, Fee had something to say so much that I had to put it on 2 slides. So let's see. Fee says Israel has been shooting at civilians, tried to reach food, dropped off by air in Gaza. The fact is, nothing has done about the weak. Cowardly words from the international organizations are not anything more than empty virtue signals. Israel is killing with impunity. Here is what Marwa Osman said that should be heard and repeated. Everyone I have met, everyone involved in the airdropping of aid on Gaza as Israel still occupies and besieges are complicit in the massacre committed by the Zionist occupation, who ordered snipers to gun down civilians who went out to collect aid. Whom do you expect would risk his life to get aid for his family? The men of the family. Whom do you think Israel wants to eliminate, especially in northern Gaza? All men who are physically capable of risking their lives to protect their families. So to hell with you and your airdrops and aid packages. Open the door and borders up and let humanitarian aid enter properly and humanely, you low-life, treacherous monsters. Warning, graphic image. And then she dropped the video with it. Now, there is some serious graphic issue or images in this video, but I cut them. I'm only gonna show you 30 seconds of this, but you can go over to Fee and see.
مبسوطين على الظلم اللي احنا فيه يا عالم مبسوطين على الظلم اللي احنا فيه مصاب الان مصاب.
They're just trying to get food.
مصاب.
Just trying to get food.
مصاب الان مصاب.
Flour. A bag of flour.
خليك ثابت وين الإصابة؟ لا تعال تعال علينا.
The next scene is a child who's being carried out on a blanket that has been shot just trying to get food. I cut it right there. I contemplated, oh, this is Beauty and the Boomer. I'm not going to be that shocking on this one, so I cut it. But shame. What Fee says, 100%. That's why Fee says is on the deck, because she nailed it. Shame on him.
You got another one here. I'm not going to play the full 2 minutes of it, but it's this one right here. You put this in.
No, yeah, I don't think this one's bad. You really can't see much because it's dark, but you go ahead
it's just
and
really,
play it.
yeah, it's really long.
You don't have to play the whole thing. So this is the aid trucks coming in on Thursday morning. And of course, people are starving. They're coming out trying to get food. So massacre, dozens killed by Israel's fire in Gaza while collecting food aid. So yeah, we've been screaming about letting aid in there for months now. What'd they expect? They expected this. They knew damn well this would be the outcome, and this is exactly the outcome that Israel wanted.
It's like Israel's using those food drops for cheese, and we're sponsoring the cheese.
Yes.
We're sponsoring the cheese.
Rat traps, exactly.
Yeah. And it's like we said last week, it's shooting fish in a barrel. There's no war here. And anytime somebody says war, I'm calling bullshit on that. There's not a standing army, and they're a bunch of cowards and monsters for what they're doing. And I would say that to anybody who is a Zionist fuck. And I'm just like, this isn't how any of us want to be in life. There's no way. You brought this?
Hungry Palestinians look for food. Made Israel soldiers feel unsafe, says the army. So when they come out and they look for food, it makes the IDF feel unsafe.
Oh my God, I feel so bad for
poor
them.
Israel. I feel so bad for them. And Medical Aid for Palestinians says it is the fastest decline in a population nutrition status ever recorded. What that means is that children are starving at a faster rate than the world has ever known. Warning, catastrophe situation in Gaza. Absolutely. I mean, we were taught in history, right? Sieges and starvation. This is the fastest rate we've ever seen, including World War II.
This is Richie Medhurst. Now I'm going to run this whole thing, because he gets into detail here what they're living on or not living on.
This is an hour of him bringing you video of them eating cattle feed and whatever they can find and trying to turn it into food, bread. And so please go watch Richie Medhurst. Like I said, this is an hour long. I brought you 2 minutes of it, and he has got so much good information.
Yes, he does. Richie's always hitting it out of the park.
There is a famine in Gaza. The UN and other NGOs also warned us about this. We knew this was coming because on day one of the genocide, the Israelis said, Gallant, the defense minister, said that he's cutting all food, all water, all electricity, all fuel to Gaza. And then he proceeded in the same speech to call Gazans human animals. So I want to show you now how Palestinians are living. Palestinians in Gaza are forced now to make bread out of animal feed. I'll repeat that. They're using animal feed to sustain themselves. They're eating food that is meant for animals. And I suppose Gallant, the Israeli defense minister, got his wish. The sick war criminal that he is, the disgusting person that he is. This is a video from northern Gaza showing residents basically searching through animal feed as a result of Israel's blockade. And I have a lot of videos to show you. Truly shocking and sad stuff. Truly shocking and sad. Here's another one. You can see how this is a photograph, how people are basically making bread. They're baking bread using animal feed because there's no flour. They're eating grass as well. Here you can see the process.
You muted it. It didn't go dead, right?
No, I muted it. It's just too loud.
No, it is the machine.
That's what it looks like. I mean, it's if you're thinking about boycotting and you've not been able to do it thus far because it's too difficult to give up Big Macs. I understand, but please make an effort because the boycotts actually work. They are losing money.
Yeah,
they really are losing a lot of money,
ass,
and they're getting punished for supporting Israel. And think of Palestinians. I mean, how can any of us complain? How dare we complain when we witness things like this?
We are consciously trying to boycott every goddamn thing that is in connection with any of these monsters and bastards. It's not just Israel, but it's the UK. It's the Biden administration.
Oh yeah.
It's Richie Sunak is a piece of shit, and so is Ursula von der Leyen. And
we're going to talk about Richie because we got to talk about George Galloway. You guys know I was super excited. Dude, I saw that he'd won within 5 minutes of him winning. Like I was like, yeah, and then they started losing their mind. So yeah, we got to talk about that. We're going to, but let's talk about this bullshit first. Of course, Biden got told to go into an ice cream shop and tell everybody they're working on a ceasefire with Macron, who wants to start World War III in the background. Okay.
My God.
So this was Thursday night, and then the next one's last night.
The beginning of the weekend. I mean, the end of the weekend. At least my national security advisor tells me that we're close. We're close. It's not done yet.
Which one?
And my
Blinken?
hope is by next Monday we'll have a ceasefire. Okay, thank you.
Nobody believed that bullshit.
Whatever. He
Okay,
said,
so then last night, so that was Thursday night. The first one was Thursday night. The bottom one was last night. And this is what he says. Probably not by Monday, but he's hopeful.
Hope springs eternal. God, this guy, unbelievable.
And I knew when I saw the first one, I was like, oh, whatever. They're just telling the press that so they'll shut up for a couple of days. They're trying to, take the pressure off since the Aaron Bushnell thing. And so that's why they went out there and said this crap. I don't expect to see a ceasefire coming this week. Do you?
I don't. I know.
I want
don't,
one. I've wanted one for months.
Yeah.
But I know these guys, and I know the political tricks they play. That's where we are.
Got to have one.
Speaking of political tricks.
You had to bring this, didn't you?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. It's so gross. It's, just fucking CNN and Bernie. What can I say?
White House says we're listening to these voters who have that same exact concern that you do about the aid that is going to Israel with no restrictions on it. The president has sent campaign aides to talk to Arab Americans. He's sent White House officials, including national security aides. But should he himself be having these conversations directly?
It's not whether it's him or his aides. It's what the policy is. That's what's important. And what the president has got to do, in my view, is tell Netanyahu, sorry, you're not getting another nickel of U.S. taxpayer money.
What the fuck ever.
In Gaza. There has to be a major change in the Israeli policies. It has a lot to do with the two-state
Oh, wait for it. This gets better.
Where we go at the end of this war.
If he doesn't do that, do you think those 100,000 voters won't come home in November?
Well, I don't want to. Nobody can speculate it. Nobody knows. You haven't talked to 100,000 of them lately, have you? Nobody has. So, but I do think this. The contrast between Biden and Trump is pretty clear. And I think most of those people who voted for uncommitted understand that. Biden has done, by and large, a good job for working people. He understands that climate change is real. And on the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who is a pathological liar.
Oh, my God.
Who wants to deny every woman in America the right to control her own body.
Yep.
There's the talking points. Keep it up, Bernie.
So I think the choice is
Nail
clear.
them all.
I think there are a lot of
Jesus
people
Christ.
who are upset about the president's policies regarding the war in Israel.
You've been really outspoken in calling for a ceasefire, and you're
No, he hasn't.
No, he has not.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Your runs for president. You, though, have also faced some of what President Biden has when he's out speaking publicly, which is people calling for ceasefires or calling for you to call it a genocide, something that you have not.
Yeah, I know. That's true. But I don't know that we want to be arguing whether it's a mass slaughter or a genocide. It's kind of a technical term that the International Court of Justice is looking
I
at.
told you it got worse.
This
The
guy's a
real issue
worm.
is, with 30,000 dead and 70,000 wounded and hundreds of thousands of children starving to death, I would hope that every sane American wants this war ended and ended right now.
But I can't say genocide or ceasefire. I love how she licks his boots and says, oh, you've been so great about calling for a ceasefire. He has never called for a ceasefire. It's been a humanitarian fucking pause is what he is, his language that he uses on that. Yeah, he hit every single Democrat talking point. Oh, got to get the Bidens fighting for reproduction rights out there, and Trump's a madman. Yeah,
it's all that, and I'll say this with as much discontempt as I can. It's all scripted. It's, they sit there, they script this shit, and I just have to say, I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard today because somebody brought up, oh, well, she'd be great, and I'm saying, no, she wouldn't be great. As a matter of fact, I'm done with these politicians. They're going to have to start. They're going to have to stop with the rhetoric and the book tours and the bullshit, and they're going to have to step up to the plate. I don't want political doublespeak anymore. I want them to put something on the line. And if it's calling it genocide, if it's calling for a ceasefire, they better fucking do it, because I'm done with them all. I'm done with them all. Done with them all. You brought this.
Oh, God. This is, okay, so who is she? She's Israel's Minister of Equality and Justice. And on February 21st, she said, I'm personally proud of the ruins of Gaza, and that every baby within even 80 years from now will tell grandchildren what the Jews did to them.
What kind of drugs is she on?
What kind of drugs are they all on? Did you see the fucking TikTok where the bitch, when it snuck into Gaza?
Oh, God, yeah.
We're going to build our house. Like, oh, my God, you people are fucking insane and delusional.
Yeah.
And if you say that on X, though, you're being hateful.
Whatever.
Bullying,
they can go to hell. Just
you
whatever.
Are fucking insane and delusional. How is that being hateful and mean? I'm merely stating a fact.
we're gonna be putting these memes in here that are appropriate once in a while, but this was pretty right on, don't you think?
Yeah, somebody finally fixed the billboard in Houston. It says, "Together we stand in genocide," and that's the truth of it.
We have got a very good Savvy Sabs segment coming up here real soon, but right now, I gotta say, I put this one in here. Anat Schwartz. I seem to remember the Gray Zone debunked the New York Times sexual assault story early on. How does the New York Times Slimes hire a former IDF member to cover the war in Gaza? And there's more to this story, Chanda. She'd never written. She's not a writer. She's never written anything per se. So they bring this person on to push propaganda. Now the New York Slimes has been getting hammered out in front of their building up in New York, and I'm relishing every minute of it because the New York Slimes is just a shit propaganda rag, and they shouldn't even be allowed to print their bullshit or put it online because they're lying as Zionist fucks, just like so many of these corporate outfits.
They all are.
I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, folks. Sorry, but
is there any mainstream American newspapers print that are calling for a fucking ceasefire? No, they're all take AIPAC money. They all take it.
I think it's just more of the same bullshit. They're all just propagandized, and it's sickeningly embarrassing. And here's another meme that we put in there. And Chanda, you brought the ice cream cone Joe and the destruction in the deck as well. I thought it would fit here as well. A couple of cufflinks there. Gaza is not this. This is not war. This is a mass slaughter, ethnic cleansing, and genocide. So yeah, abso-frickin-lutely. And yeah, moving right along. We've got more. Claire says, we love our Claire says. So let's hear Claire and see what Claire's got to say, which is always poignant and right on. So Claire, you have the mic.
The rights of all people must be respected. As I've said many times before, Alexei Navalny should not have been in prison. His death in detention is appalling, and an impartial investigation into the circumstances absolutely necessary. But while respecting the dead, we also have to be accurate in our memories. Was he Russia's democratic messiah? I don't believe so. A courageous activist? Yes. But what kind? A free marketeer? A fan of the 90s reforms that led to Putin? A race baiter, ejected from the Liberals, who then founded a nationalist coalition with the extreme right and led anti-immigration rallies in the 2000s? A gun rights activist who made ads joking about shooting Muslims. Of course, none of this justifies his treatments. His rights are just as important as anybody else. But if Navalny had been a socialist or a trade unionist, I don't think anybody here would know his name. 200 Palestinian journalists have been murdered since October. They don't matter because our ally killed them. It's very clear we care nothing about oppressed civil society unless it's in our geopolitical interest.
Spot on, Claire, as usual.
Spot on. At first I was like, what? What did she say? And then I was like, okay, I get where she's going. And yeah, she absolutely nailed it. It looks like, and this is being reported by the Ukrainian CIA, aka our CIA, that he might have died by a blood clot of natural causes, not just that.
You don't want to get me going on that.
We'll never know. We will never
We'll never know. What do you got here? This Davos?
Oh, this is the Ukrainian foreign minister at Davos trying to reassure everybody that, hey, the weapons money is staying in America. You can make homes a home.
Oh, joy. Be proud, America.
Be proud.
Well, first, Ukraine does not steal any money from American taxpayers. A vast amount of this money stays in the United States because it's invested in the production of weapons that goes then to Ukraine, and it needs to be explained to American taxpayers that their communities benefit from it. Their new jobs are created.
And by the way, we have to remember that the bulk of this money is going right back into the U.S. economy to make those weapons, including good-paying jobs in some 40 states across the United States.
Our support hasn't just helped Ukrainians.
Oh, my God.
90% of the security assistance that we provided to Ukraine has been spent here in the United States, benefiting American businesses,
workers,
communities, strengthening our nation's defense industrial base.
It's worthwhile with all of this gaining, some public perception to be clear on some facts. First and foremost, the vast majority of this money is going to American companies and jobs, right? Because those are the people who are making the Abrams tanks, the ammo, and everything else. And we take Lockheed Martin, which makes the HIMARS that have been core to Ukraine's counteroffensive. The company announced it's going to increase its workforce in Camden, Arkansas by 20% just because of this new demand.
Oh, that's where they make the white phosphorus,
We
right?
gain
Yeah,
a lot of intelligence from the Ukrainians. They have a special relationship that was reported in the New York Times just the other day with the CIA. They also have relationships with the other U.S. intelligence agencies where they're providing very unique insights. So this is basically an investment not only in the relationship with Ukraine, but also in our ability to secure NATO's eastern flank.
Yeah, people forget, and we've known because of this Washington Post analysis for months now, about 90% of this money going towards weapons is actually coming back into the U.S. People think it just goes to Ukraine. It's not. This is where they're getting the weapons, so it also does contribute to the industry here in the U.S.
Republicans who support more U.S. military aid to Ukraine are now making an America First argument for sending ammunition and weapons. Their analysis shows 90% of the money already given to Ukraine stayed in the U.S., supporting American workers, modernizing an atrophied U.S. defense manufacturing base.
I know, that's just sick. So
God damn it, Patty Murray, frickin', what the hell are you doing? We have Boeing, we have Lockheed Martin, we have all of these fuckers in Washington State, and none of that 90% of that fucking money is coming back to the Pacific Northwest. Y'all, you should be pissed. You should be pissed.
Yeah, well, I don't want my economy built on blood of others.
But it already is, and we're getting left out. That's the freaking bottom line. It's already happened, but we're not getting any benefit of that. And you know how much fucking military we have in the Pacific Northwest? We have some of the most extensive freaking shipyards. Everett, Bremerton, Keyport. Like, why is none of that money making its way? I'm shocked that none of it made its way to the Pacific Northwest.
You know what? As much as I support our sisters and brothers in the military, if it all went away tomorrow, I'd be happy. If
it all went away tomorrow, there'd be so many towns across this country that would just go under.
They'd figure it out, Chanda. They would figure it out how to make an economy. This is just too easy, going and stealing other people's resources and minerals and fuels.
That's what we built this country on since
I
the
know.
end of World War II. And
we did it when we came over here and
took
it from
built to support it. So I don't know how we come out of it.
Well, that's the mindset. We came over here and wiped out the indigenous. The British did the indigenous.
Conquered it
now,
all.
and now you got the Zionists doing it more
now we're
so.
gonna get waterfront condos over in frickin' Israel. Hell yeah.
Now this is a telling. Sabby says, and
this was so gross. Nina needs to just shut the hell up.
Well, she was. I think she was right on. What's gross about this is the panel.
She is right on, but the fact that she still thinks that she can go on CNN and influence anything.
Well, this is again.
Is like, come on.
Politicians need to put up or shut up with the talk and start doing. Like I said. Anyway, I'm gonna tweak this a little bit because it's a little bit longer, but it's well worth it. Sabby knocks it out of the park here, and I love it when Sabby gets really passionate. I really appreciate it, like I said. But let me see if I can get this going. I'm having trouble getting the start times and end times on her segments, and I don't know why.
I know. I'm telling you. It's Google.
It has to be.
It's Sabby. They do it.
That were written for you by the studio execs.
And
how about you do that? Is it that Indy voted third party? So pay attention to that. So when what she says next comes out, Anderson Cooper doesn't want to hear that, and he lets you know that he's a problem with what she's saying. This might be her last time on CNN.
People are living through this every single day.
By the way, there's also been slaughter in Israel. So there's talking on both sides.
No, I'm not.
Lecture on the problem. I'm talking about the politics of this tonight. What to you would be a victory if somebody was calling for this uncommitted vote? What to you would be a victory tonight to get that message?
I'm not denying. Let me pause here. So Anderson Cooper chimes in and he says, we don't really need a lecture on what's happening in Gaza. Apparently you do. Anderson Cooper tells her, well, there's been casualties on the Israeli side as well. We all know that, Anderson Cooper. We've heard you talk about that for the past couple of months. Why is it that anytime someone starts to mention what the Palestinian people are going through, you got to come in and bring up, but this is what happened to the Israeli people. We're not talking about them right now. We're talking about the Palestinian people right now. Israel is in power. The Palestinian people are not. You know, it's like if you go to a cancer march, let's say you go to a breast cancer march, and you're volunteering, and you're at that event, and somebody comes up to you and they say, well, you know, the people that have Alzheimer's and da-da-da, and they're going through some things too. Okay, I get that, but this ain't about them right now. This event is about the people who are going through breast cancer, who have been through breast cancer. This is Anderson Cooper trying to find a way to center Israel in the discussion when someone is talking about the suffering and the oppression of the Palestinian people, and he's trying to center Israelis. It's not about them. So you got to understand where Anderson Cooper comes from. This doesn't get said enough. Anderson Cooper is a Vanderbilt.
Yep.
His mom was Gloria Vanderbilt. So he was born in a family of wealth, enormous wealth, and privilege.
CIA.
Anderson Cooper ain't never had to struggle. He's never had to suffer. And I would argue the way he was able to get some of these journalist gigs is because of who he is. So Anderson Cooper don't want to hear about the suffering of the Muslim people. He don't want to hear about it. That was his way trying to tell Nina Turner to be quiet. I don't want to hear about it. That's enough of that. Stop trying to make me feel bad for these poor people. You literally have a Vanderbilt sitting there on the panel who does not want to hear about the oppression of the Palestinian people. He wants you to talk about what happened to the Israeli people on October 7th. Everybody is talking about that. Everybody has centered that. But right now, that is not the discussion. And this is what you have. This is what you have with people like him. Never forget that, ladies and gentlemen. When you see these people, a lot of these people that are on these panels on CNN and MSNBC and Fox News, ask yourself how they got there. Where did they come from? Most of them went to elite universities or they come from elite families. So Anderson Cooper has some nerve to sit up there and be like, I don't want to hear, like, don't give us a lecture on Gaza. No, you be quiet, Anderson. How about you don't give us a lecture from your teleprompter, okay? How about you learn how to use your own brain and your own thoughts instead of just reading words that were written for you by the studio execs? How about you do that, Anderson? A goddamn Vanderbilt.
Goddamn Vanderbilt. I love it.
Sabby out of the park, Sabrina. We appreciate that. And like I said, you know, but we need more people speaking like that. And George Galloway's
Well, Nina needs to be speaking like that. I mean, I appreciate that she's over on CNN trying to, you know, what, schmooze? I don't, why are you still fucking around with CNN, yet you don't grant any independent media fucking interviews because they ask her real questions? I'm just done pretending people like Nina Turner and Cornell West and Marianne Williamson have a fucking clue, because they don't.
Yeah. Don't get me started. What do you got here? News. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, breaking. An Illinois judge orders the removal of Donald Trump from the primary ballot. Here we go. Yes, that's happening in this country.
They better knock this bullshit off.
That means the Supreme Court's going to hear it. And remember, Trump's got friends in the Supreme Court, so now the shitlibs are losing their minds, and I brought a clip for you, because you got to remember who controls the Supreme Court.
Is this the clip you brought?
Yep, this is it.
All right, let's check it out.
They could have taken this up in January when Special Counsel Jackson has said, hey, can you hear this on an expedited basis, but chose not to. Then the appeals court gives a bulletproof ruling, as Dahlia says, and they still decide to take it up.
Whatever.
What it says is that they are corrupted political actors who act in bad faith. The reason why people like Mark and people like Dahlia seem to have a crystal ball is because they're real, because they're realists, and they understand the court for what it is. And at some point, people in the media, people at home, and people sitting in the White House have to stop pretending that the Supreme Court is some kind of benign, trying to do its best institution, and start to realize that there are 6 Republicans, not conservatives, Republicans on the Supreme Court who view it as their job to help the Republican Party. And until we do something about that, until we take away that power, until we draw the line on them there, they will continue to do this. They will help Trump. They will take away abortion rights. They will end affirmative action.
Oh my
They
God.
will liberalize
Oh
gun
my
rights.
God.
They will
Oh
do
my God.
all
Oh
of
my-
it.
Holy
until
shit.
we stop them. And somebody needs to start listening in the higher echelons of the Democratic Party, because we will keep losing every day we allow these 6 Republicans in robes to rule over all of us.
Shanda, get out the paddles. Get out the
I know
paddles.
they're going to throw him off the Supreme Court. Like, no, you guys are Republicans. You're not even
Jesus Christ.
conservatives. You're Republicans.
Oh my God, Jesus.
So Rachel Maddow, she had to get in on this one because, you know, she's losing her shit over this one, too.
Jesus.
And here is your cream of MSNBS bullshit. For
Oh my God. You like doing this to me, don't
I
you?
do like doing
The Senate
this.
was biding for as much time as he could because this was his last chance to insert delay, which of course is what Trump wants. I think that was, you know, if you think about the court as the Supreme Court of the United States and a rational actor and a decent one, that was a reasonable supposition, and it just turns out they're not that.
Whatever.
And Chris, I feel you in terms of the emotion that you're bringing to this right now, and the sort of sense of urgency with which you're understanding
Manny
what
Mo
this
and
means.
Jack.
It's true. There isn't. I mean, there just isn't any way around it. And I feel like for people who haven't been following this, if you want to know why there's a hair on fire reaction to this, if you haven't been following every interstitial, incremental bit of progress here, the important question here is not whether the Supreme Court is going to decide that Donald Trump and all presidents are immune from prosecution for things crimes they committed while they were president.
Is she gonna cry? Is she gonna cry?
It's really insane for them to actually side with Trump here, right? Remember, this is the case where Trump's lawyer was asked by Judge Florence Pan in the appeals court, are you telling me that this guy that a president could order the assassination of his political rivals and there could be no prosecution for that? That would be okay. We'd have to let that go. Not only for the duration of his presidency, but for the duration of his life. That would be okay. And Trump's lawyers are basically like, yeah. So the idea that they're going to side with him on immunity is unthinkable and also beside the point. The conclusion that we can arrive at now based on what they have done without having to wait for the ruling is that they are ensuring that Trump will not face trial. And when they inevitably rule that presidents aren't immune from prosecution after they leave office, what that will tell Donald Trump, if by then he is president, is that he can never leave the office of the presidency. And if he is voted out in 2028, he cannot leave office, and he is willing to he is welcome to commit any crimes he wants to, as long as he is still president, in order to ignore the results of that election and stay in power for life, because otherwise he's going to go to prison when he gets out. That is the way this.
Oh my God, that was some leaps and bounds for her to get there, but she got there. And that means he's never going to leave prison or leave the White House, because then he'll go to jail, so that he can never leave again.
You know what? She's not even a good propagandist. You know, she's built her following, her cult, her sheep. But she's absolutely terrible. If you really listen to her not saying anything and then hitting you with the point she wants to get across, because people tune out. They don't have critical thinking skills for the most part. But anybody watching this stuff's got to be out of their mind anyway. We bring the clips for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
So, that's what she is.
Oh,
so
it's not entertaining. I don't know. This next one, I got to tell you, this next one, I thought it was entertaining, but it is on a different level. So Mitchie Turtle McConnell has decided that he's going to retire, but not till he's dead.
Yeah, not till he's dead. He's not going to be Senate leader. He's going to be what? Asshole of the Senate.
Mitch McConnell, the longest-serving Senate leader in history, will step down from his position in November. McConnell said he plans to serve out his Senate term, which ends in January of 2027, but will resign as Republican leader. The 82-year-old senator from Kentucky announced his decision on Capitol Hill today, and he received a standing ovation from his fellow senators.
Whatever.
McConnell said it has been a difficult time for his family since the loss of his wife's sister, and said her death prompted his own introspection.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
What the
terrible.
hell? What the hell
Jody,
ever?
thank you so much for the sticker. I saw it go by. We just got to talking. We got a super chat sticker from Jody, I want to say.
Thank you, Jody.
Yeah, it's
we
from
appreciate
Jody.
it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jody.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and it's getting worse too, because now the big conspiracy, oh my God, who's going to replace him as the majority leader, right? Since he's not going to be the leader anymore. And so the Dems are losing their shit over that one too.
And this is good news, isn't it?
This was great news. You know me. I was super excited to see this the other night. I love Moats. I love George Galloway. And George Galloway wins in Rochdale by election. And immediately, oh my God, I was watching it live when he was giving his speech, and you could just see the shit going down. And then the clips that have been coming out about the media, the way they're badgering him, talking to him. But that's why I love Joey, because he don't take no fucking shit. He shuts them down in real time. And he's used to it because he has a call-in show, and he gets some weirdos that call in, right? He's got to shut them down in real time. So he is fearless. And here's Richie Sunak's reaction, of course, the British PM, to George Galloway getting elected.
Richie Sewer Rat. That's what this
Sewer
guy
Rat. Yeah, that's good.
In recent weeks and months, we have seen a shocking increase in extremist disruption and criminality.
Do we have to listen to this whole thing?
No, because everybody's probably heard it, but God, it's just fucking totalitarian the whole way through.
Jewish children fearful to wear their school uniform, lest it reveal their identity.
I think that this is where GPT works for assholes like this guy too, because his whole speech just was horrible, and he is a worthless piece of shit, just like von der Leyen and Biden and the rest of them. So
it showed fear. It showed how fucking scared they actually are of we the people when we get behind somebody like George Galloway. And when you go watch some of these interviews, if you haven't watched them, I mean, the way they come out swinging at him like he's some kind of freaking crazy,
well, that's how they're going to paint him.
Over the government. And this is the way Richie reacted. Oh my God, they're coming for our government. They're
Well, when MSNBS and CNN Not News starts going after George Galloway, you know how scared they are, because the Brits are saying, hey, you need to help us put this guy in the gutter. So keep supporting George. You got to do this. Now, I'm glad you cut this, because I could hardly stomach this the other day. It was sadly hilarious.
She's back.
Oh my God, they're back.
Hey, I have an important announcement to make. As of today, I am unsuspending my campaign for the presidency of the United States. I had suspended it because I was losing the horse race.
Book sales are down.
So much more important than the horse race is at stake here, and we must respond. Right now, we have a fascist standing at the door. Everybody's all upset about it.
Who's she talking about?
But we're not going to defeat the fascist by
Joe Biden.
What? What is President Biden offering? He says, let's finish the job.
She's calling Trump
I hope you realize we're talking about millions of voters for whom they can't even survive unless they work at 2 or 3 jobs. What is he saying beyond, the economy is really doing well?
Unbelievable.
Are you kidding me? For whom? It's doing well for 20% of us, and that's to be celebrated. But that 20% is only
us. Yeah, what of that? Yeah, I'm doing great.
39% of the American people
Jesus
report
Christ.
that they are regularly skipping meals.
I can't believe she even said that.
Over half of bankruptcies come from medical debt. 1 in 4 Americans carry. We're now living at a time where economic anxiety is experienced by the majority of people living paycheck to paycheck, the minimum wage not having been raised, and increasing militarism. What's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on here. We the people, basically.
She isn't we the people. She is not we the people. She's not we the people. I'm telling you, I grew up in the Hamptons and I rode polo on Martha's Vineyard.
It's great for 20% of us.
Oh my God! Yeah, the 20%.
The horse race.
Yeah, crazy puppet. Crazy Puppet dropped us a critical hit sticker over there. Thank you so much, Crazy Puppet. Critical. I'm critically ill sometimes, but we have. This is your other favorite person.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I clicked on this thinking that maybe, just maybe, he was finally going to step up. We had enough pressure on him to call for a ceasefire, but that's not what he's calling for.
Yeah, you're going to love this.
The time has come to make the White House do the right thing. That's why I'm asking you to sign a petition to President Biden calling on him to grant me Secret Service protection. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and this ad is paid for by Team Kennedy.
Oh, my
Team
God. Not a
Kennedy.
petition to save children, to stop bombing. No.
No. Just keep me in this horse race with Marianne Williamson.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put this in here. Before you vote, go grocery shopping, fill up your gas tank, and pay your bills, then vote. Jesus Christ, Biden won't get one vote. Yeah,
I finally filled out my ballot yesterday or the day before, and a few people in my family they decided to go Trump, and I got no ill will. I get it. They understand what's going on in the world, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it. Trump's a Zionist. What he did to Julian Assange, I don't want to have to say 4 years from now I voted for Trump. I don't think that even if he does get elected, he'll come in and save us. I don't think much is going to change. The economy is already in the fucking toilet. I highly doubt somebody who lost Trump University is going to be able to pull us out of the hole. But regardless, the weapons manufacturing, the wars, I don't see him backing us off of it. So I wrote on the Democrats. I voted on the Democrat side, but I voted for a ceasefire. I just fucking wrote in ceasefire.
Good for you.
We had the whatever delegates, right? The uncommitted delegates. We could vote for the uncommitted here in Washington State, but I was like, fuck that, because those are still delegates that'll go to Biden, and that's ultimately like voting for Biden. So fuck that. No, ceasefire.
When is our results going to be in? Is that tonight or is that next
no,
week?
ours isn't until the 12th.
Oh, the 12th.
We have till the 12th to get our ballots in. But it doesn't fucking matter. We used to do caucuses, back in the Bernie days when we still had, and that scared the shit out of them when they saw how many local people showed up at each rural caucus. They went, oh shit, there's a lot of people paying attention. And then they switched us over to this open primary that you now have to declare on the outside of your ballot if you're a Republican or a Democrat. How is that not a constitutional violation?
I know that should be illegal as hell.
A political fucking party in the mail. Like, how is that not a violation of my First Amendment?
It has to be, and somebody needs to just sue the shit out of the Secretary of State on this one.
Yeah, Washington State needs the shit suit out of them for that crap.
Big
you should
time.
Never have to declare on the outside of a voting envelope if you're voting Democrat or fucking Republican.
Yeah, if you like rain, high taxes, unfair tax structure, and if you like shit libs running your state into the ground, move to Washington State. By the way, it's starting to flood too. I had to bring a timeline cleanse in here because, Chanda and I are all about healthy eating and everything else. So here you go. This is about the healthiest thing I've seen recently, Chanda. Have you watched this? You're going to appreciate this.
Surprise me.
This is how you should eat.
Oh, step into a Slim Jim. Hell yeah. What is that?
It's a hoagie roll with Cheese Whiz.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what is that? Oh, Cheese Whiz doesn't taste good anymore.
And let's have some Johnson sausage. Yeah, let's get that. Jax, is this healthy? You're a nurse. You can tell us if we should be having this, right?
Well, the bread will probably soak up a lot of the grease.
Yeah, and I don't know if the wax paper is the best thing to bake with either, but there you go, Chanda. Aren't you hungry now? Doesn't that make you hungry? Oh yeah,
he can eat anything. Young guys can fucking literally eat anything.
Oh shit, that would put me in emergency room right there.
Right, but you could have ate that at 19 or 20, no fucking problem.
Yeah, probably. And the Hill, Biden to sell first-term accomplishments and future agenda at State of the Union address. And Steve, living in dystopian times, says, inflation, Ukraine war, Gaza genocide, border cluster F, weaponized police state, government censorship, and we could go on for about 45 minutes on this. So, again, guys.
The fucking Hill, when you leave your phone playing, you're listening to something and it ends, and then whatever YouTube pulls up next starts playing. Somehow the freaking Hill came on, and just the sound of Robbie Sabi's bullshit. That guy.
I used to like him. I thought it was pretty good.
It was Bree, Robbie, and I want to say Ryan Grimm or some shit. I was just like, oh my God, I can't eat. How did I ever listen to this crap?
Now here's your here's your evil counterpart over there at MSNBC. Mika, you gotta love Mika.
Every time I see her, I just think of Trump. And I ran into her in Mar-a-Lago, and she had blood all over her face. Remember that? She had a facelift. Her face was bleeding. Yeah, it was funny.
I just can't picture her and Joey in bed at night. That just, oh my God, that's
well, he's
gross.
Not there. He's with the interns. We all
yeah,
know
that's right.
The AIDS, right?
I forgot. Is this gonna play?
Oh, yeah,
Joining
she's
us
a
now,
Nepo
Professor
baby
of Political
for sure.
Science at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, Tom Schaller, and journalist and opinion writer Paul Waldman. Their new book
he's
out
a
tomorrow
journalist?
is entitled
Oh,
White
wow.
Rural Rage, the threat to American democracy. And Tom, we'll start with you. Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point? You would think, as we pointed out, looking at Joe Biden's background and Donald Trump's, that the opposite would be true.
I mean, we lay out the fourfold interconnected threat that white rural voters pose to the country. First of all, and we show 30 polls and national studies to demonstrate this. We provide the receipts in Chapter 6. They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, anti-gay geodemographic group in the country. Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism, and scientific skepticism.
You fit any of those on?
Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalists and white Christian nationalists. And fourth, they are most likely to excuse or justify violence as an acceptable alternative to peaceful public discourse.
So you mentioned a lot of negative factors about this demographic.
For the love of God. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm just Oz the Boomer. I take no sides.
White, rural, you're a threat to democracy.
Yeah, sure.
MSNBC.
Sure.
And chapter 6 anyways. They'll tell you who they freaking got the info from in chapter
I want to
6.
remind everybody watching the stream, Chanda, Linda, Amber, we don't take sides. We call it as we see it, and we always will. And when we don't, you better call us out on it. So you got a cream of bullshit here. What's this? What's going on with this one?
This is your Fox cream of bullshit, and we should be scared. Putin's threat. Putin's been threatening us. Remember this?
He's going to take over the world. Oh my God.
Fox News alert now, right now, at this moment, the funeral for Alexei Navalny is underway. Reporters and their allies paying their respects to Putin's fiercest critic, who died last month in a Siberian prison. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin throwing down the gauntlet over Ukraine, saying the West will face a nuclear conflict if they put troops in to help Ukraine.
Fox says they're using
strategic nuclear forces are in a state of full readiness for use. We remember the fate of those who sent their contingents to the territory of our country. Now the consequences for the potential interventionists will be much more tragic.
Here to react, Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, he loves talking about nuclear war every 6 weeks. To me, this is in response to what Macron said of France, and maybe NATO should put some troops in there to help out the Ukrainians. What do you think
Macron wants troops. You heard Macron.
Yeah, well, I think
Macron
Putin continues to brandish the use of nuclear weapons because it works. I mean, it's the reason why the Biden administration took a knee on not providing
that old
advanced
fucker.
weapons when the Ukrainians began to ask for them in the first year of the war.
It's
because the policymakers feared Russian escalation. That's the reality that we're facing. So that kind of worked. Why wouldn't he keep brandishing it? Of course he's going to do it. And what they would fear about Macron's statement about providing troops,
Jesus
quote unquote,
Christ.
he would fear French air power. The F-16s
Air
are coming
power.
to Ukraine this year.
Air power.
Hopefully, if Congress approves the funding, Europeans will be providing them as well. And that's going to begin to be a game changer and make Russian ground forces very vulnerable, and also military targets in Crimea very vulnerable.
So did he say Congress was going to approve money to go to France now?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You got to be
Why
kidding
not?
me.
Well, why do you think Macron was having ice cream with Biden on Thursday?
Well, I thought he was just doing a back at you because
He's
Tucker
got
Carlson.
his own countrymen fucking rising up against him. I brought a clip to my show 2 weeks ago where he was promising the farmers, like, oh, I'm gonna, we're gonna make this better. And then you see him 2 days later with his tail between his legs, fucking kissing Biden's freaking demented ass and eating ice cream. And then this statement comes out where he says he's gonna send French troops to be on the Ukrainian fucking border. And yeah, it's kind of, it all goes hand in hand.
They're just pissed because Tucker Carlson had lunch with Putin. That's all. That's all it is. Fucking asshole.
I listened to his 3-hour interview with Lex Friedman the other day, another CIA asset, but it was interesting if you're into it. I mean, he does go a little bit more in depth about his feelings when he was in Moscow, especially about how clean and livable the city was, and how he came back thinking fucking sanctions don't work at all. I mean, we're sold this line and lie of bullshit of sanctions, and it was interesting interview.
Yeah. Well, Chanda, I think Chanda likes this. I did a reface again. Right here with Linda and Chanda,
we're the Gemini twins.
You're the Gemini twins. I thought that came out pretty good. You guys look good in film noir. And you brought this in case of cyber attack.
I just thought this was cool. So in the case of a cyber attack or whatever, in the event that communications go out, we will meet at our local libraries every Saturday at 9 a.m. in every town, city, in every state. So, hey, there you are. If we keep passing it on, maybe we'll actually have a place to meet up when shit hits the fan.
What are we going to do? Roast weenies while we're burning books?
No, it's going to be all hell break loose. So you're not even going to be able to pass anywhere, would be my guess. You know, There'll be territories that'll be hard to travel through.
Yeah.
We've all seen the disaster movies.
It's going to be a mess. What is this? I didn't watch this. What is this?
What is this?
This is
this is the farmers. These are German farmers. German farmers. Look at this.
Watch this.
Look at this.
Here we go.
That's manure. That's shit.
Good job.
You don't have to play 2 minutes of it. I just wanted to show you some of what they're doing. Fucking farmers tearing it up, man. Yeah, make them go really fast.
Look at them spray
Look at
that.
They're spraying the fucking cops. Yeah. Get them.
Lucky it's over there because the cops had already shot this guy 50 times.
Yeah, right. American cops would have shot him.
Look at that.
Look at that. That's how this is how we do it. Hell yeah.
Well, they take away our internet and start starving us. We might end up being in the streets too. So.
Well, yeah, definitely.
That's great. I hope they spray their House of Parliament or whatever the fuck they have over there too. So.
Oh, they're just fucking them up.
What's that? Why?
Did you see the map? Amber shared a map of where they're at in Germany right now. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. I'll bring it to my show on Monday. I've already got a lot of good stuff for Monday.
What is this? You brought this.
I just thought this was funny. Only see what you want to see. They're conspiracy bias goggles. Confirmation. They're confirmation bias goggles. So you can get some too.
Oh my God in heaven.
I think half the country is wearing those.
That's a play on that movie They Live with Roddy Piper, right? So you're seeing stuff through those glasses.
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
I think this looks a little more before that era.
Yeah, well, it's probably what it is. Anyway, our executive producer did it again this week. She knocked it out of the park, and we have a hell of a yum-yum here. And I'm glad this yum-yum took off, because I remember when I was doing it, I was just throwing up a image with a couple of snarky sayings on it, but she's taken it to a whole new level. Linda, out of the park once again. Check it out, everybody. Linda is awesome. She does a great avatar here too. Wow.
Watch Platt and Teller Magic Show. See Cuba's autonomy disappear. March 2nd. On this date in 1901, as part of its Army Appropriations Bill, the U.S. Congress passed the Platt Amendment to limit Cuba's autonomy as a condition for the withdrawal of American troops following the Spanish-American War, replacing the Teller Amendment of 1898, which set conditions for U.S. military presence in Cuba. The Platt Amendment wiped out the parts in Teller that left control of the island to its people and withdrawing its troops. Teller also stipulated that the U.S. would not annex Cuba, and fortunately for Cuba, Platt didn't try to override it. Among the highlights of the Platt Amendment, Cuba's right to make treaties with other nations was limited, and its conduct regarding foreign policy and commercial relations restricted. But here's the kicker. Platt stipulated Cuba must sell or lease lands to the United States necessary for coaling or the development of naval stations.
Guantanamo Bay.
Only one U.S. naval base in Cuba, it's Guantanamo Bay, and the U.S. will never shut down that shithole.
Nope.
Essentially, America bullied Cuba into taking a lesser role in their own governance by pretending the U.S. military would ever leave. Hashtag Viva Cuba Libre.
Viva Cuba Libre.
God dang.
Great yum yum.
Jeez, you know, she is getting so good.
Know. I want
wow.
to be an avatar. That's amazing.
Yeah, and the graphics and the music and oh my God.
It. Great job, Linda.
And she picks out the best topics.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
Sure.
Well, I know everybody's a little, I just brought this quick blurb here. You know, a lot of people are worried about AI like I am too, because I'll be back and then it'll all be over. But there is some good AI news, and I'm going to try and bring some good AI news once in a while. And here it is.
There's no good AI.
This is good. I like this. This is good AI news. Just check this out.
And finally, a research team from UC San Francisco basically said that AI can now predict Alzheimer's disease up to 7 years in advance. By diagnosing the disease earlier, they're better able to treat the patients and increase their quality of life.
I thought that was good AI news. Don't you think that's good AI news?
Yeah, I wish I had the video. I have a video for Monday that I'll back it up. I'll bring this video to back it up with. So yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it.
I don't know. If they know that you're going to lose your mind 7 years earlier, they're just going to lock you up 7 years sooner?
No, they're going to figure out a way to profit off it more.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
That's the whole thing. Now, the Biden administration's been harping about what a great job they've been doing, and there's 14.8 million jobs out there, and it keeps right. They cross it out and they put a new figure on top of it every time I see it, which is bullshit. But this is just a fraction of what's happening. Macy's is closing 150 stores. Best Buy closing stores, planning layoffs as sales slips. 41 locations of Outback Steakhouse, Carrabba's Bonefish Grill to close. Paramount Plus is laying off tons of people. Vice, execs abruptly lay off workers at the end of a town hall for downpour of thumbs down emojis. Rite Aid, which is who I use up here, is planning to close 77 more stores. 70 more stores. UPS, 12,000 employees. Now, just shooting from the hip here, and let's take Macy's for an example. 150 stores. Now, I was working in a little drug retail operation for a number of years, and in that place, including part-time employees and pharmacists, on average, 60 employees. How many do you think each one of those Macy's stores had? And Best Buy, and 12,000 at UPS. So take your 14.8 million jobs, and God knows how you're counting them as jobs, shove them straight up your ass, because businesses are going out of business right and left in this country. Services, hospitals, social safety nets, restaurants, which is...
Nobody's got any money.
Nobody's got any money.
These goddamn places, Best Buy, fucking... steakhouses. Come on, nobody's got any money. They're just gaslighting us, telling us we have money. We don't.
And honest to God, there's a bunch of things that you can read into that and everything else, but honestly, we are in dire straits here, and they're barely holding it together before the next election cycle, or before the next election. Now, the U.S. sues to block 24.6 billion merger deal between grocery giants Kroger and Albertsons. Yeah, of course.
That's all we have up here. They're all owned by Kroger's. It's already happened. So
they want a monopoly on your goddamn grocery store, so they can. And they do. They already do, because Safeway.
Got Amazon. You got. You got the Kroger's is the only thing left. They own Safeway and they own Albertsons in my area.
Yeah,
Kroger's is Safeway.
I know. It's a con game, beyond. So they should. I think this is just cosplay. U.S. sues to block. What?
I know. That's why I'm like, it's already happened. I don't understand what this even means, but
what?
This stirred up a lot of controversy this week. So the face you make when you order during price surge hours at Wendy's. So Wendy's CEO announced that they were going to do a new price surge pricing menu. So it's an electronic menu, and he's already ordered all these goddamn menus, and they're going to replace everything. So the prices would fluctuate by demand. And the internet lost its ever-living fucking shit. It was so bad that within like 48 hours, he had to come out and say, whoa, we were just kicking the idea around. We're not really going to do it. So now they're saying they're not doing it. But public cost of poverty wages, this is how much we subsidize these fucking fast food joints. This is just disgusting. $1.2 billion to McDonald's. 6.48 billion to who is that? I can't see it.
648 million to Yums. I think that's what it is.
Who's Yums?
It's something back east. And then there's Subway with 436 million and Burger King with 356 million. And Wendy's, of course. And remember Wendy's, too. They used to get the Immokalee tomatoes where they were hand-picking the tomatoes and stuff.
They used to do everything when Dave Thomas had it. Now it sucks.
Yeah, now Wendy ran it into the ground, and it's just shitty. But, one of the things that when the Immokalee tomatoes, there's a story behind that. But these were basically union workers in Immokalee. Right. That's where they did the thing. And Wendy's, colluded with all these other fast food places. They don't want to pay a fair wage for a fair day's work, so they're going to do everything they can.
My whole thing is grandma is only getting $130 in food stamps a fucking month to live on, while we give these bastards billions and billions, Oh, but food stamps, that is food stamps. Those are those workers. They're not paying their workers, and their workers having to get EBT. That's
like Walmart. Same thing. Walmart, same thing. And people bitch about
the same thing. Yeah.
About the grocery stores and stuff. But and the grocery cashier and checker and workers' wages, they were great back when I was young. But now they're not even in line with what we need to survive. No. And they're blaming some of their high prices on having to pay these workers. Fuck you. They're not either. Yeah. So again. Shameless plug here for Joey's Coffee by Neil says. Joey's Coffee. Yeah. So, we appreciate the orders we've gotten. Remember, Mother's Day is coming up, right? It's always great to give Mom some Joey's Coffee. And you brought this.
What's the dumbest thing way too many people still believe in?
Oh, God, Chanda.
I've got a whole list. So I'm going to start. Israel has the right to defend itself. Voting matters. The president controls things. Your healthcare provider and insurance, they care about you. Like, come on. There's so many dumb things that people still believe in, for sure. Jack says Yum is Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, and more. Yeah,
that used to be Jax. Yeah, that used to be PepsiCo. Right. I thought. PepsiCo.
No, okay, now I recognize it for sure. Yum. Yeah, there's a lot of dumb things that people still believe. Like your vote matters.
How about democracy? United States is a democracy. People still buy that bullshit.
That you have freedom of speech.
Yeah, I don't think
you
so.
Don't. Try to exercise it in a couple of different places. You'll find out.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. What do you got here, Chanda?
It's official. We can pretty much treat COVID like the flu now. Here's a guide according to the Wall Street Journal. So new guidelines from the CDC on Friday brings COVID preconditions in line with those of other respiratory viruses. So expect the unexpected by Dr. Fauci.
Oh my God. Does that work? So did you make this meme here? Or this
that's
picture?
Probably another one that's stupid that people still believe that it's safe and effective.
Safe and effective. What is this? What do you
I don't
got
know.
here?
I found this and I was like, oh my God, this is so appropriate. I need to bring it.
Inside the MRI, Martin was shown these images of drug use to stoke his cravings.
His legs were moving a lot and he's very agitated.
Oh yeah, watch this. This is crazy.
Watch it because they'll take us down for the 60 minutes.
Yeah, no, they will. I didn't realize it was a 60 minutes clip inside of it. I thought this was something else.
Yeah, no, it's 60
minutes.
I
got this mixed up with another video. This was going to my show, damn it.
Yeah, I don't want to
But this is crazy. Okay, so come out of it. Don't play it. But the whole thing about this is they controlled this man's brain and his cravings for addiction by fucking subliminally showing him. They showed him a bunch of needles and drug use while he's in that MRI machine, and then they hit him with this thing. I don't remember what they called it. The doctor like ordered it. Like, it was so creepy. You go watch the 60 Minutes clip. Anyways, and it took his cravings away. So, I mean, what they can do with that for other things, that's scary. That's fucking
Well,
scary.
I'm just afraid that
You
Elon...
support Trump. We don't like you supporting Trump. Here's a bunch of images of Trump. Bam, we hit your brain. Now you don't like Trump anymore. I mean, this is exactly what they're fucking showing you. Like,
yeah, that's Stanley Kubrick Clockwork Orange level of shit. Where they pull the eyeballs back and then they show the images, but they're just
that's why
putting it in
Musk
there.
wants the Neuralink so bad. Remember, they're going to get fat people to stop eating by doing that to them. So
they're gonna
the technology's here. It's already done.
They're gonna skirt that by just stop all production and starve us to death. So that's fine. I can lose the weight. Well, you got a Julian Assange cream of bullshit here, right? Or no? What is this?
I cut that one, but I think it's the last video we've got of the day, so we can just play it.
Okay, here we go.
This is
U.S. officials labeling Assange as a co-conspirator who put American security at risk. Again, I know you think he's protected, but do you think there's any truth to that? I mean, did any of his actions put us in danger, do you think?
No, absolutely not. In fact,
I had it cut at like 2:25.
The New York Times and the Guardian who worked with
it's
him
only
to make the
55
decisions
seconds
about which information would be published. So if anyone believes that these WikiLeaks publications harmed anybody, it's impossible to distinguish the actions of WikiLeaks from those large newspapers. And that was the reason, by the way, the Obama administration, which wanted to prosecute Assange, concluded that there was no way it could do so without also prosecuting the New York Times and the Guardian. It was when Mike Pompeo came in, was appointed to run the CIA, that he vowed he wanted to destroy WikiLeaks. That was the Trump Justice Department that brought this case and the Biden Justice Department that continued it. But if you look at the view of every major newspaper, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, all of them say that this case is a great threat to press freedom because Assange was acting in the role of a journalist.
Yeah, I think that's important that you point out it wasn't just WikiLeaks. There were other publications, too. Glenn Greenwald, thank you so much for joining me. We'd love to have you back once a final decision is made here.
Final decision.
Yeah, Glenn's out there doing the rounds over on, News Nation. But I'm glad that, somebody is.
We've got Meme Alley here, courtesy of Chanda. Meme Alley. So let me see if I can get this thing to work over here. My mouse is being mean to me tonight. So what do you got?
Thinking back to when a new hip joint meant someplace I want to go on Friday night. Now you want a new hip joint.
And there you are. You're still the shit, huh, Grandma?
I'm still the shit. Heck yeah.
Yes, you are. What do you got there?
Democrats and Republicans trying to convince everyone that they're two entirely different parties. And let's see, the side one says, I think Aaron Bushnell was pretty awesome. He was an extremist with ties to anti-Zionist and anarchist groups. Anarchist groups, sorry. And I already said he was awesome. You don't have to convince me.
Love that one. That one's great. Then you got this.
Friends be like stoners, shit posters, and FBI. What your friends list be like? That's totally it. Yeah, stoners, shit posters, and the FBI and the NSA, I'm sure.
Now I did this one. It's not very good, but I had to put it in there. So Genocide Joe eating the ice cream. I think the red is appropriate. And then real life action figures, IAOC, brain not included. That was mean. Wasn't that mean?
Oh, you're such a bully.
I am such a bully. Listening to her speak as of late, shoring up the bullshit. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I like this one. I never did business with my son.
No, not at all.
What? And then you've got, I like this segment. You still got Alyssa Milano. Can you put like a mask on her or something, please, Chanda?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll do some, I'll do some filter work on her.
Yeah, I think so. I love this one. This is great.
In my mind, this was 40 years ago. In my heart, it was yesterday.
I
love the arcade. Oh, it was one of my favorite places to go as a kid.
Yeah, arcade and going to the mall on Saturdays and running around there, having some food with friends. What is this? Is this Rockstars? Find the Grandma?
Yeah. Find the grandma. It's all old rock stars. That's too funny. The only one like row 4 over? That's the one from Harry Potter. Come on, she was hot when she was young.
Oh
that's
yeah.
She's not a rock star. She's only not rock star there, but that's funny. So my kids, how cool were you in school? Me, this school, pegging your pants. Yeah, that was the thing we did in the 80s. We pegged our pants for sure.
Well, in the 70s, it was bell bottoms all the way.
Oh,
so,
I know.
There you go.
My mom had my name embroidered on her bell bottoms.
Now, Chanda and I have made some accusations recently, and I just wanted to bring some evidence. And here's some evidence right here. You got a 24-ounce box of Kellogg's Corn Flakes. It's the giant size. Sure, I'm going to pay $10 for that fucker. Not, glyphosate, courtesy of Kellogg's, not so much. And Chanda, you said a couple weeks ago, mayonnaise, $7. Well,
$7 for Safeway brand.
Listen, this is an online purchase. I have to disclose that because they are a little higher, but $8.07, and that is Walmart, by the way. 30 ounces of Hellmann's mayonnaise. I don't think so.
But that's all in your head. Prices aren't really that much higher. Besides, you're making more money and there's more jobs.
Give me a break. I got to tell you. Now, this... go ahead. I'm speechless.
My mom was obsessed with these damn things. She had a couple of pairs in the closet. I remember them sitting in the boxes for years, and I would play, put them on. They were like Who wore these things? They were literally walking around on a piece of plywood. They were with a big lump in the middle where your toe was. Like, I don't know who decided these were comfortable.
Isn't that what Japanese geishas used to wear, by the way?
No, this was a big thing in the 70s.
Yeah, I know.
Hard,
I used to sell them. Don't remind me.
Are they Dr. Scholl's? Are they Dr. Scholl's?
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Scholl's back in those days was terrible, and I imagine they still are terrible, because they would come in and just fill the pegs to the fullest max and sell this garbage that really didn't work.
Who thought those were comfortable?
I don't know. The only thing like that I've run into, and there's other people, but I've had a lot of different footwear. The Crocs. The Crocs were comfortable, and I've still got Crocs.
I used to nurse in the Crocs. When I was a CNA, I lived in the Crocs. When you got to be on your feet for 10 hours, the Crocs really, they are.
Well, yeah, they have those nurses' clogs now that have the negative heel in them. I hear they're pretty good, too. But the Crocs, I've got a pair of Crocs I bought at Kmart like 13 years ago. I still got them. They wear like iron, and they don't.
Still a thing? Sears bought Kmart, but who bought
back
Sears?
I
don't know.
It was a long time ago. Okay, everybody. They keep coming. The hit books, the top sellers keep coming, so I'm going to keep doing them. Here we go for this week's Shitlib Book Club of the Week. And Chanda helped me out with this one. Book club recommendations: A Glorious Day to Be a Twat with Bernie Sanders featured, and the mysteriously light dime bag, Hunter Biden, complaining once again.
I can't wait for Hunter's trial to start. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be very entertaining. Maybe, I don't know. You've got Stoner Corner here. Stoner Corner.
If capitalism was a blunt, it'd be all stems. Let's see. When the weed kicks in and you're done being a bitch now. Yeah, that happens a lot. My circle's so small, I passed the blunt to my other hand and hit it again. And due to personal issues, I will be smoking.
That's great. And you brought a follow-up here. I looked at this, and I looked at it, and I said, why are you bringing this?
Because it dropped last night.
Yeah.
Okay, so this came out. This was from the American Heart Association. They're always the ones to tell us, oh, my gosh, you're going to have a heart attack, right? And they say that you are more likely to have a risk of a heart attack or a stroke if you are a little as a once per month user of marijuana. So they say for those who use a couple of times a week, you have a 3% chance higher of having a heart attack and a 5% chance higher of having a stroke if you smoke marijuana. Now, I don't know why this report came out, but when it comes out in the mainstream, and this was MSN, I want to say, where this dropped, I go, okay, bullshit. This is a lobbyist. Somebody's trying to, You know,
money,
it's all
money,
about
money.
money. Yeah, we've learned that over the years, the way they come out after things, you know. So yeah, weed madness, reefer madness, back at it.
Oh my God, it never gets old, does it, Chanda? And
you smoke the devil's lettuce, you're gonna die
the
of a heart attack.
the devil's lettuce is gonna put you down. I think they should go after sugar.
Yeah. Sugar, come on.
Sugar is what's going to kill you.
Sprite for the first time in like a long time, years. I just don't drink sodas at all, but I was craving one, so it's pretty good, actually.
Here we are it's that time again with Hollywood Go Fuck Yourself, and somebody did a really good job here. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's from the TikTok. And we've got a shout-out list to those who support Palestine and those who don't. And I don't think you're going to be surprised as who's on this list, Shannon. Palestine, Israel, Johnny Depp, Palestine, Vanessa Paradis, Palestine. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, you dipshit. Emma Watson, Palestine. Rihanna, Palestine. Kanye West, Palestine. Gal Gadot, Israel. Mark Ruffalo, Palestine. Scarlett Johansson, no surprise there. Zayn Malik, Palestine. Kyle Jenner, Israel. John Cusack, Palestine this week. Dia Lupa, Palestine. Adam Sandler, Israel. Florence Pugh, Israel. Bella Hadid, Palestine. The Weeknd, Palestine. Natalie Portman, Israel. Arnold, Israel. Lena Headley, Palestine. Trevor Noah, Palestine. Jamie Lee Curtis. God, that music's too fucking loud.
It's annoying as shit.
Yeah, it is annoying. So you guys get the idea. Yeah, I'm sitting here and my teeth are falling out of my head. I should have muted that to start with. Anyway.
Live and learn.
Yeah, I will. I'll get better at this. We're about at the end of the show. Oh, stick around for that outro. I think you're going to really like it. If you're a Fleetwood Mac fan, you gotta watch it. But I brought a little clip, and Chanda might play this at her show. But we're switching up the thumbnail for next week, and Chanda has promised to dress appropriately. So I'm going to play a few seconds of this. See what you guys think. Tell me if you like it. I love it because Chanda, you look great, and I look my age in this, which is terribly old. Here we go. This is
I'm the boomer.
Next week's thumbnail. Here we go, folks.
Have you seen the well-to-do up in town Park Avenue on the famous thoroughfare with their most
It is the Roaring 20s.
high hats and narrow collars, white slats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Oh, I lost my cigarette thingy. I used to have one of those. Remember, I broke it on Halloween a couple of years ago.
Anyway, that's just a sample. You'll hear the whole thing starting Friday, I believe. I'm going to make sure Chanda gets it in her deck. Maybe she'll give you a little teaser again on Monday.
Oh, yeah. No.
But you look great in that era. You really do.
I do rock the 20s. I know. The 20s have been my era for,
honestly,
centuries.
I almost think that's even older. But it's been a great show.
I wish I had all my grandma's pill hats, man. She had just freaking cases and cases of them. But nobody wears hats anymore, so,
No, they don't wear hats. So what do we got for announcements before we get out of here?
Announcements. Let's see. If you're a Patreon, it's finally happening. Oz and I are going to do a green room hangout with you on Thursday night. Probably, 6, 7? What works for you, Oz?
Yeah, regular time, somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, probably 7, but I'm going to send you guys a special invite. I'm working on the card now. It's kind of funny. And so Patreons get that. And then let's see. I will be on regular schedule this week. I moved into the new studio, but I got to tell you, I don't think I'm quite ready to engineer a show in it, but that will happen this week. Oh, and I've been invited to be a guest host on Pasta to Go. Let's see, the 12th. March 12th.
I'm looking forward to that. Pasta's been whipping it up over there, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fancy suits. I see you got the fancy suit tonight, too.
Yeah, I do, and I brought my Scooby-Doo tie. So I got Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo and Tigger. I like those two characters, so really enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody that stuck around for the show. Jax, what a great show! Thank you, Jax. That's so kind of you. Really appreciate it. And she retracted it. Don't you mean it, Jax? I was trying to read you.
You don't mean it. You don't mean it at all.
You don't mean it, Jax.
No, screw that. I didn't mean that. You know what? We've been bringing no United spots. I don't see anybody crying about it. Popeye did that just for you.
Yeah, and we had a very short meeting with our production, and as much as we do appreciate some of their work, some of it not so much.
It was such a short meeting. It went like this: no more United spot. They suck. And I was like, okay.
I wish I could say otherwise, but they push it too far to the racist.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes when they hit it good.
Yeah,
but
and I'm not saying we won't ever bring one, but if they really nail it, we will give them that. We've already started writing next week's show. There's a lot of shit that's been dropping this weekend. We didn't get in. Shanda's going to bring it. Yeah, so you're going to bring it on Monday. So
we got a big show already for Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to talk lasers. Lasers. Did Biden accidentally tell the truth and tell everybody maybe you should paint your roof blue?
Jewish space lasers? Is that what it is?
Jewish space lasers. I already got 4 slides ready for Monday of Jewish
my God. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you again, everybody. I shamelessly put my coffee link in there. If you want to drop Oz a couple of bucks, we're still paying for a few incidentals around here. Believe me, it goes right back into our work, and we want to stay viable. And again, thank you so much for all of your gracious support and all of you for being in here. Have a great weekend. And
Jack, thank you.
Jack, thank you,
great
Jack.
chat. Much love to all of you. We do this for you. This is our community. This is our hangout. Saturday
and I wasn't kidding in that letter. It is a labor of love
morning.
that we do. So
it is a labor of love.
We enjoy the hell out of it. We're going to go out with some terrific covers of Fleetwood Mac. And I don't know, the first group is fantastic, but the lady that comes in and sings Sarah, Chanda, she gave me goosebumps. It was so good.
I like Sarah. That's a good song.
Okay, here we go, everybody. See you next Saturday, 7 p.m. Beauty and the Boomer After Dark. We're going to get it done. Later.
Make me happy with
you give me life, but you never told me about the fire. Drowning in a sea of love, where everyone would love to drown, but now it's gone. It doesn't matter what for. When you build your house, then call me home. And it was just like a great dark wind within the wings of a storm. But I think I had met my match. He was singing, and under me, and under me, the listen, under where the listens, in the sea of